Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing the top 25 players after the Birmingham Major. So we're going to rank all the players that went to Birmingham and doing a top 25. If you see right over here, this is going to be my top 25. I'm going to reveal one by one from the 25th to the 1st. And I'm going to put some Subway Surface gameplay up here because why not? There's some blank space right there and I want to just throw something in there. So you're going to have Subway Surface gameplay and other gameplay there to keep your attention deficit minds paid attention. If you see this right here, this is how I'm going to reveal. And a disclaimer, this was really hard to make, okay? I made a bunch, like 10 different variations. It's really tough, okay? Making a top 25 list of players is really hard, but at least I'll be doing better than teammates, you know? And comment down below your guys' top 25 players. I'm gonna be expecting a lot of shit talk on these this list because I don't have a lot of explanation for some of them, but I mean, it's hard. It's hard, guys. I'm gonna start with my honorable mention that did not make the top 25 is Archie, part of GK Esports in that run, and you'll see their teammates here pretty soon as well. And speaking of, I put Oli at number 25. Played pretty exceptional, but top 8 finish. You know, this is where kind of the top 8 teams kind of sit, is like bottom 25. Once you get to the top 10, that's usually your finalists and whatnot. This is gonna be a long recording. Again, I don't have a lot of explanation. I wish I had like people with me so they didn't really have to come after my single pick. Because I know I'm going to get flamed, guys. I know it. And number 24, I have Cheese from Gen G. Cheese, I think, has made a lot of improvement. Not as much as, you know, some people have been wanting to see. But I do have him squeaking into that top 25, number 24. You know, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I a lot of these picks, I just hard to kind of tell why I'm picking, who I'm picking. Next, I have number 23, which is Joyo, which is part of that GK. So I have all the GK players already listed, Archie being the honorable mention. They made a top 8. You know, that's kind of where they all sit. I don't think any of them are really too spread apart in skill. I think they're pretty close at all in skill. So, and then next I have my first Sam player, Jufinho, a part of Furia, and you will see both of his teammates later on. Again, I could make this a 2-hour video, but it's hard when I don't have other people to be flowing with. And then I have apparently Jack, a part of Dignitas. They actually did not qualify to the playoffs. You know, I won't say there's a lot. I can't really explain these bottom ones until I show you these other ones. So we'll leave apparently Jack at number 21. Number 20. I have the Bear. People might be hating me, but I think the Bear, he played really exceptional, especially in the NRG series. He came out really hot, which is really surprising to me. And then he just got recently top 1 in global and 2s. So, I mean, I see him bumping up a lot. He's made a lot of improvement since his last lane in Copenhagen. So I think he deserves that top 20 spot. And then next we have Exotic, part of the Vitality roster. Made a video about him. I really like him as a player. I'm speaking at number 19, but just because Vitality really didn't play great, I would say if they were a top 4, maybe. But it's kind of hard to tell. Number 18, I got Rise from Mina. I mean, you could put up higher, but they barely squeezed out of a top 8. Rise has been more dangerous on other lands when he was in Europe and pretty much everything else. So I think this is probably the weakest, which is kind of insane to say, being so like at number 18. This is the weakest he's been. One of the weakest placements he's had on LAN. You know, which is also like complimenting him for how consistent he's been on LAN. He's a LAN demon, but he hasn't really shown it this LAN. And you guys get to see a rainbow. I don't think I have any NA, EU, MENA, or any other region combined. Number 17, I have Monkey Moon. Also with the Vitality roster, Monkey Moon and Exotic. I think I switched them back and forth quite a bit. You could definitely interchange. There's a lot of interchange you could do. So usually if so at MB, if he's at number 20, I could see, you know, off the list, and I could see him like 16. There's a very large kind of region with, it's not so pinpoint, with teams, but we're gonna do that with Monkey Moon. And at number 16, Cavaliers. You know, the twins are pretty close. You're gonna see the Rawas, the other twin, up here as well. They didn't play as great on LAN. I would have bumped all three of the guys up a little bit more, but I mean, if you want to be in that top 10, you have to be, you know, really, really good. Top 4. You have to be a top 4 team. There's a few exceptions up there, obviously, but I mean, it really does determine on team placement as well. Number 15, we have Yan from Sam. You know, you could definitely bump him higher. I think this is the lowest you could possibly put him. You could definitely put him like top 10. I could see him top 10 with a top 4 finish. But, you know, 4 times 3, which is 12. He's at number 50. This is probably one of the lowest players I have at the in the top 4 kind of spot. It's so hard, man. Like, this LAN was so stacked. I think apparently Jack said this in his recap video. This is the most competitive LAN he's been at, and he pulled some like pretty poor teams at the regional compared to everybody else. Like, this just proves that like Mina has 2 competitive teams. Sam has a competitive team. APAC made a top 11. NA has more teams that are competing. Like, EU's obviously, all of them are competing. So literally, like, you can't really slack off at any of these teams. It gets harder and harder to make these top 10s as, you know, the seasons progress and the game progresses. You know, it's gonna be like kind of a yap sesh video, just because trying to defend my picks. Fortunately, at Beast Mode, they came a top 4. Beast Mode, probably one of the biggest drops we've seen. He doesn't really have that aura of what people have been saying. I definitely see him up there. This got kind of low if you go to the nitty gritties, but this didn't look like Beast Mode. Like he has in Worlds or the second major, even this all of last season. He doesn't look like the same Beast Mode. Hopefully, he still finds his footing. He hopes get a number top 2, another regional win, definitely plausible for them. He's the lowest on the NRG roster. You will see the rest of them later. 13, we have a Ross, which is Clears. Not much to say. 12, I have a First Killer. First Killer has still yet to get that LAN win. Coming, I think second either 2 or 3 times. I could be wrong on that. He's gonna get the. I spelled Killer wrong. I'm stupid. I definitely spelled something wrong here, but oh, what the hell? There you go. Okay, now whatever. We have a number 12. The next player I have Nubo from Twisted Minds. I saw a stat, I think it was on Twitter. He is the fastest player that I was at LAN by a long shot. Like, the gap from like 2 to 15 was smaller than the gap between 1 and 2 of Nubo and whoever was at second. The kid's fast, he's good. Unfortunately, they got a top 8 placement. This is really high for a top 8, but I mean, I think he's really skilled. That roster is very strange. Having Rise, Nubo, and Atomic, it's just a strange roster. Number 10. Okay, this is when it gets spicy. This is when people might disagree pretty heavily on. Actually, you know, my top teams are usually agreed upon for the most part. Compared to my bottom team, usually gets or bottom players usually get shit on the most. Anyways, I'm just gonna reveal this one. Vatira at number 10. Okay, they won the major. If Vatira is the worst player on the team, that team's gonna be damn good. Okay, that's really all I have to say. If Vatira is the worst player on the team, that team's good. His skill is kind of getting overshadowed by the 2 studs on this team. That's why I think he's bumped down a little bit, because he's just getting overshadowed and playing a really good 3rd man role. I think people might hate that. That's kind of a scary pick, but I have Vatira at number 10. Number 9, I have Atomic from North America, not from Mina. Atomic was actually playing really, really good for NRG. I think he was a stud. Daniel, you're obviously going to see him up here, but I think Atomic can definitely get bumped up a little bit more here. He's been playing like out of his mind since last season, because last season it's kind of was all Daniel Beast Mode. That was kind of like the only talk, but I think Atomic has really stepped up. I think he deserves a little bit higher. This kid's rated pretty high. I have another Sam. Lost. I have the whole Furia roster on here, obviously. I think Lost is I don't want to say underrated, but he was really good, really fast. Obviously, all of South America is. He's got ice. He did the walk. He gets vitality. I have him up at number 8. I think he's at least a top 10 player at the major, but we'll just leave it at that. I don't have a lot more explanation for Lost. Now I have Chronic from Ultimates. Chronic actually kind of surprised me and a lot of other people with how he played. He kind of elevated the Ultimates roster because, you know, again, it's LJ and FK. It's kind of like the two main guys that everybody's looking at, and then Chronic kind of in the back. But he really stepped up. He's kind of like the main X factor that pushed them to the playoffs, top 2 in the championship. You could see him even top 5. He played really well at this late. But let's go on to number 6. A Tau. Okay, I might get some flames on this, but I think you're gonna know where his teammate is at. You definitely I would put them top 3, and I wouldn't hate you for it. He's been playing crazy, but again, when there's another certain player on that team, you know, it kind of overshadows. When you have really 3 phenomenal players, and one kind of shoots up and kind of takes all the spotlight, the other 2 kind of have to sink down a little bit. I mean, obviously top 6 isn't bad, but you have that level of talent on a roster. It's really hard to have, you know, 1, 2, 3. Even though it's the most dominant championships like ever, going sweeping it out. Number 5, I have LJ. I really like this guy. He I don't know how he hasn't won a regional yet. He got top 2 multiple times in the regionals, top 2 at major. I think he was the best player on Ultimates. I foresee he's going to win a regional, obviously. Surprised he hasn't done so yet. He has even a chance to win a major if, you know, this other certain team, Carmine Corp, kind of falters. Breaking into top 4, Zen. This is really high still. People kind of underrate him. This is kind of an analogy. Voters fatigue, you know, like in other sports, where if you win like a MVP for the season, the next season you kind of have that fatigue where, oh, you put up better numbers, but because you won the major MVP last season, it's kind of difficult to sway voters on your side. This is what I think is the case for Zen. For the 2022 and 2023 season, obviously blew everybody's minds. 24 was kind of a dwindle, and then, you know, 25 kind of coming back to kind of his form. People kind of would drop him a little bit more, but, and maybe some people have him a top 3. I know people are going to disagree with this. I don't have a lot of evidence to back up my choices here. I'm going to be honest with you right now. It's going to be a Mina player, TRK. I think he's the best on the Falcons. Maybe not by far, but quite a bit. This is the highest you could ever put him. I think that's kind of where I put him. Top 2. You guys might know who these last 2 players are. Dan is at number 2. This is pretty high for a, you know, top 4 finish. You could definitely put a Tau even up there. You could have a Drolly Tau, but kind of why I swayed away from that is because I wanted the rainbow. I didn't want the same region back to back, so I kind of had to go kind of tweak that a little bit. Daniel definitely that's the highest I could ever see him. He could probably get dropped down to like 8. It's really tough when the skill between these players are really tight to rank them. So again, it's really hard. It's hard, bro. And then I think you guys all know. You guys all know who this last player is gonna be. It is Drawley, best player in the world, MVP at the major, best player going into the major. I have a video coming out on him in like a week, so you guys will see that later. But this is my list. You know, hate it because I am not confident at all. If you kind of point me out on some flaws on this list, you're probably right. I'm not gonna lie, you're probably right. It's tough. Like, making a top 25 players list is tough. Nobody's ever gonna, like, no one's gonna agree with you. No matter how good your list is, nobody's gonna agree with you. But put your list down below. I do want to read who you guys have, what you guys have, why you think that my picks are bad, Because they probably are. I'm really not confident in this. Making a top 25 list is really, really hard. Thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate it. This is a longer video just because it's hard to pick and choose who is the best player. But thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you are not already. Really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.